Good morning, ma'am. They greeted you when you walked inside the office. Good morning. You smiled while walking towards your office but then stopped. Gracie, did you prepare the reports? Yes, ma'am. Everything is done. Very good. We need them in the meeting and can you please check the arrangements? She nodded. Thank you. You smiled and left from there. You entered inside the office and saw your boss talking to someone over the phone. He's always busy with calls. His back was facing you so you couldn't even see him. You decided to greet him later when he ended the call and proceed to do your work, but then you heard him sneezing and then he apologized to whoever he was talking to. Then you noticed that his voice was different. He seems to be cold. Your eyes fell on his desk and his coffee wasn't there, so you take out your phone and dialed a number. Mr. Clark, why did you not bring coffee for the boss yet? Yes, please be quick and also make it hot this time. You ended the call. Jungkook always drinks cold coffee, but today you asked for a hot one. Because he seems to have a cold. Finally, his call ended and he turned around. Good morning, sir. Morning. It's good that you came. Can you please give me the contract papers of Wong Enterprises? Sure, he said with a nod while he sniffed and sat on his chair before turning his laptop screen on. You opened a drawer and took out the papers before walking near his desk. Here, keep them, we'll be needing them in the meeting. You got a little confused. We are signing the contract with Choi Group, so why do we need these in the meeting? Just keep them. You nodded because sometimes he keeps his plan secret, which you don't mind at all because he knows better. There was a knock on the door before Mr. Clark walked inside the office with coffee. Sorry for the delay. He put the tray on the desk and bowed before leaving. Jungkook picked his cup as if he wanted coffee at this moment, but it was warm. Did he forget that I don't drink hot coffee? You looked at him. No. I told him to bring hot coffee. I think you have a cold. He sighed before taking a sip. Still, I don't like hot coffee. You smiled because he was still drinking it. The meeting is in an hour, so you can take some rest. You don't look well. It's okay. This contract is more important and I don't want to waste even a second. I need to be prepared. You are already prepared and everything is fine. Don't take stress. The door opened again, but this time it was his mother who came in. You were surprised to see her here all of a sudden. Hello, ma'am. You said, bowing politely while she smiled. Hello, dear. How are you? She said, coming inside, and a small boy around 2 years was in her arms. I'm good, ma'am. Jungkook got up from his seat and walked near them. What a surprise, he said, taking the boy in his arms. He was missing you a lot. I don't want to disturb you, but he was crying non-stop, so I had to come. Why were you crying, champ? He said, pinching his cheek lightly, but then turned his face backwards and sneezed. Oh no, do you have a cold? I guess yes. Then you shouldn't come near him. He'll catch the cold too. Jungkook nodded and tried to give him back to Mrs. John, but that little boy wasn't ready to go away from him. Jungkook again sneezed. Hanyol, go to your grandmother. Appa has a cold. Your heart dropped when you heard that. You have been working here from past 6 months and you never knew this guy for whom you have developed strong feelings is the father of a 2-year-old. You have a son? Words just slipped out of your mouth, grabbing both of their attention. I'm sorry, I just don't know that sir is married. His mother laughed a little. Don't be sorry, dear. He's Jungkook's son, but Jungkook is not married. She made you more confused. And then she laughed a little. No, he's not married. Huh? you said, getting extremely puzzled. But before she could explain anything, Jungkook interrupted. "Omma, I have a meeting, so please take him. I'll be back home early." He looked at his son. "Appa will be back home soon, okay?" But the boy was not ready to go to his grandmother again and started to cry. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," but he again sneezed because he was seriously sick. "Let me handle this." You put the file on the table and walked near Jungkook before looking at Hanyeol. "Han, wanna play?" Your voice was so soothing that he stopped crying and started to look at you. They both got surprised to see this because he never goes to strangers. You slowly spread your hands and took him in your arms. Surprisingly, he didn't even resist and silently came to you. You smiled. "Wow, do you like me?" Jungkook was the one who was surprised the most. He usually doesn't go to anyone, especially when he's the one who's holding him at the moment. Wow, it's a miracle. He doesn't usually go to people for the first time. You smiled and looked at her. "I think he really liked you. Even though all your future plans with this man goes to waste after finding out that he's already a father, but you can't do anything now. He seems to be okay now. You can take him." Mrs. John nodded. "Han, let's go home, okay? Your appa will come back soon." She again tried to take him, but this time Hanyeol wrapped his small hands around you, not wanting to go. Mrs. John chuckled lightly. "Han, you can't stay here." "It's okay, ma'am. You can leave him here." "No, who will take care of him here?" "I will. It's okay, let him be here." "Are you sure, honey? You have a lot of work." "Don't worry, ma'am, I'll manage, and he's not even crying. We have a meeting today." You looked at him. "I know, but I'll manage. See, he doesn't want to go, and what's the point if he ends up being sick because of crying?" "Yes, you're right. He was crying from the morning." "That's what I'm saying." She smiled and looked at you. "If you want, then I won't stop you. He seems to like you anyways." "Jungkook, don't give her much work today, and if possible, then no work at all." "Are you really sure you should do this? I mean, what's the problem here?" "It's okay, Jungkook." He sighed. "Fine, do whatever you want," he said, walking towards his desk while Mrs. John looked at you. "Thank you, honey, and bye, my boy. Be nice to your aunt, okay?" You really felt so different when she addressed you with that name. After that, she left while you looked at Hanyeol and smiled. "I guess you wanted to see how your appa works in his office, right?" Jungkook lifted up his eyes when he heard you talking to that little boy. Don't know why he felt that urge to smile the way you say your appa. "I didn't understand what your mother said. Means you are not married? Then how do you have a son, and where's his mother?" You pressed your lips together when he looked at you. You have a habit of talking more than needed, and sometimes you really go way too personal. "I was just asking, don't answer. He doesn't have one now," he said, shifting his eyes to the laptop. "Oh, I'm sorry." "That's okay, but how will you do your work? You know I can't go near him." "I told you I can. Kids like me, and I'll prove it to you." You looked at Hanyeol and smiled. "You are such a smart kid, Han." The little boy started to play on his own. He was enjoying the warmth of your arms. Jungkook was happy to see that, but surprised at the same time. "Sir, I think you should take medicine or go to the hospital before you get a fever. You seems to have a viral cold." "I'm fine, thanks for your concern." You gave him a weird look, although his eyes were fixed on the laptop. "Han, are you hungry? Shall I get you some milk or juice?" He likes banana milk. You looked at him and smiled. Okay, Han, let's go. Since I have a little bit of time, let me take you out. You walked outside the office before closing the door. Once you left, Jungkook lifted up his face and then leaned back on his chair before massaging his temple as he was having a headache. But then, a slight smile appeared on his face when he remembered you. Actually, you are the first secretary that has changed him this much, or else he doesn't even smile, but now a smile appears on his face every time he thinks about you. Your silly, friendly and talkative nature actually making him fall for you, even though earlier he used to find all this very irritating. The way you care about others and always make sure everyone around you are alright, this quality made him respect you as a person. He would love to have you in his life as his life partner and even share this thought of his with his mother, and that's why she likes you more now. He saw Hanuel comfortable and happy with someone else for the first time. Actually, Hanuel is not Jungkook's real son but his nephew. His older brother and his wife passed away a year ago in a car accident, and he decided to raise Hanuel like his own son. In fact, he never tell anyone that he's his nephew. It's always his son. He checked the CCTV footage and saw how you were playing with Hanuel, and in fact, other employees were there too. He looked so happy and enjoying. A smile appeared on Jungkook's face to see that. He wiped his eyes and closed the laptop. I just want to find someone who also loves you like her own son. Suddenly the door opened and you came in with Hanuel. It's time for the meeting. Will you be okay? Did you take the medicine? Don't worry about me, he said, getting up and wearing his coat. And now where will Hanuel stay? You should have not insisted on keeping him here. I'll bring him in the meeting. Hanuel is a good boy. He won't disturb, right, Han? He smiled, making you laugh a little. You take everything lightly. Let's go. Life is already so messed up. Why to make it more depressing when you can make it light? He said, following him. As you came in the meeting room, Hanuel was enjoying so much. It was a little awkward for Jungkook because he's very serious about his work and now he brought a child inside the room, but you were making sure he won't make noises. This was the first time that Jungkook single-handedly managed to attend the meeting, and then they signed the contract while you were sitting among them with Han. It was a happy moment for everyone. Their hard work paid off finally, because this was the biggest deal of this year for which they have been working for the past 2 years. Wow, finally we did it. It was unexpectedly smooth and everything went well. You said, coming inside the office while talking to Hanuel. Jungkook was feeling weak and his headache was getting worse. Wyan, can you ask Mr. Clark to bring one more coffee? You looked at him. Are you okay? He looked at you but then nodded while looking away. Yes, I'm just feeling a little exhausted. No, I think you have a fever. You came near him and touched his forehead without asking him. He felt goosebumps when he felt your touch. Oh no, you have a fever. You should go to the hospital. He shook his head. Just bring me coffee and I'll be alright. At least take the medicine or it will get worse. He nodded, then he looked at Hanuel. Champ, you forgot your dad, I guess. You looked at Hanuel. He makes baby sounds but still doesn't speak any word. Han, wish your dad well and tell him to get well soon so that he can play with you as well. Now you've started to think that Jungkook might have adopted this baby because he does a lot of charity work and love kids, but then there are some similarities between them, so it could be possible that he's not married but have kids, because why not? Maybe he became a father before the marriage. Are you okay? You came out of your thoughts when Jungkook asked you that. Yes, I'm fine. I'll bring you coffee. Wait, I just called Mr. Clark to bring it. You took out your phone and dialed his number before putting it against your ear while Hanul wanted your attention. He was trying to get the phone while you leaned back a little. Yes, please bring tea and a good one. You ended the call and looked at him. You have a fever, so tea would be best. He said because you only do what you like, but then the next second you both left surprised when Hanul said the first word. He said that to grab your attention, but this little soul didn't know that he surprised both of you. You slowly looked at Jungkook and he did the same. Was it his first word? You asked because you didn't hear him saying anything except blabbering some unclear words. Jungkook swallowed and nodded slowly. Hanyul again looked at you and again repeated. You knew he's calling you EOMMA, but it wasn't as special as how Jungkook was feeling. He was surprised but also trying to process everything. Baby, I'm not your EOMMA. Jungkook tried to hold his tears back because he was overwhelmed. I think he's missing his mother. I'm sorry, you said after realizing that Jungkook told you he doesn't have a mother. Jungkook was looking at Han. It's okay, I think he's really missing his mother. I'm sorry to invade your privacy, but can I ask you what happened to his mother? You wanted to say girlfriend or wife, but you paused because you knew he'll understand. Actually, Han is my brother's son. Now this surprised you. So, he's not your biological son? Jungkook shook his head. No, last year my brother and his wife passed away in an accident, so I decided to raise him as his father. Oh, I'm so sorry. You looked at Hanyol, who was playing with your hair. Now you were feeling so bad for this little boy. It will be so hard, right? Not really, but I guess Han did miss his mother. I never thought his first word would be EOMMA. Then why don't you just get married and give him a mother? You bit your lower lip because again you spoke more than needed. I would love to, but just want someone who can love him like I do. Like I see today how he's so comfortable with you. You felt your heart skipping a beat because you understood his indirect confession. Your cheeks turned slightly pink. Ryan, can I say something to you? Your heart was beating so fast but you didn't look at him. If you want to ask me to become his mother, I have no problem. Jungkook chuckled slightly. He liked how you were just so simple and straightforward. You looked at him. Don't get me wrong, I like you and somewhere I know that you do too, so I have no problem. He nodded. Yes, I like you, but I never thought the confession would be so simple and straightforward. Of course not. Hanul is listening to us, right Han? Han giggled while you tickled him. Jungkook smiled. Ryan, you looked at him. Thank you. And you smiled. I should thank you for not letting my dreams crash. He frowned his brows, completely puzzled. That made you laugh. What dream? Nothing. It's a secret between me and Han, you said, shaking your head. Suddenly the door opened, revealing Mr. Clark. Tea. You smiled and nodded.